voters. One of the things I appreciated the most about Ruth Bader Ginsburg was her ability to see the big picture. And this isn't so popular currently. What I mean is, she had the bit of the ends justify the means attitude, which is part of what made her legal career so successful fighting for the underprivileged. Now, RBG desperately wanted to eliminate discrimination on the basis of sex in our government and also our legal code. She had plenty of cases to choose from as an attorney for the ACLU to bring before the Supreme Court to argue this. And in the 1970s, 99.99% of those cases that were trying to prove that discrimination on the basis of sex is wrong, the female sex was the one being discriminated against. However, the case she chose was one where men were asserting that they were being discriminated against. And she took a lot of flack for that at the time. The case is, Oklahoma passed a statute prohibiting the sale of 3.2% beer to males under the age of 21, but allowed females over the age of 18 to purchase it. They made this law because supposedly females are more mature. Or at least maybe we get less angry at mailboxes when we drink. So this really pissed the bros off, and a liquor establishment sued the state, and the case is known as Craig versus Boren, if you want to look this up. Now, RBG and the ACLU chose this case because they knew that the Supreme Court justices at the time would not stand for men being discriminated against on the basis of sex. Now, this decision to represent them in court denied women their well-deserved day in the highest court in the land. However, as RBG and the ACLU knew, any rulings that were made to make this right for men would have to apply to women, achieving their goal. Now, many of the individuals that we revere now were not seen as idols in their heyday. RBG is one of those individuals. Her pragmatic approach to advocacy, her friendship with Antonin Scalia, he's a very conservative justice on the Supreme Court, he's dead now, also a Milton lookalike, are two reasons for that. I mean, I'm happy she was alive when she eventually became so celebrated. I mean, Frederick Douglass is another example. He was once heavily criticized for being willing to work with segregationists to advance the rights of Black people in the United States. He's famously quoted as saying, "I would unite with anybody to do right and nobody to do wrong." Now, I know this video doesn't have a lot to do with New York State, and I know it's not particularly funny. But at a time when it's so easy to demonize those who do not agree with us, I think it's even more important that we see the big picture and remember that dialogue is the foundation for democracy. What is the dream that you have for your town, your city, your county, your state, or your country? And who can help you get there? Work with them. Learn their desires. Yes, I even mean for our insanely important life and death, I will die on this hill issues. The reality is that we are going to need the support of a lot of people who don't think exactly like us, no matter who we are. We saw this with the legalization of same-sex marriage. It took a lot of peaceful and not peaceful protests to get discussion started, then the energy of tons of dedicated activists afterwards, but discussion and connection over time changed the court of public opinion drastically, which significantly influences our court of law. What was the number one reason many people changed their mind about same-sex people being allowed to get married? Someone they cared about identified as LGBTQ+. This is called the contact hypothesis. The more connections Americans made with gay people, the more favorable their implicit and explicit biases became. And this shifted dramatically over a time in a period of 10 to 15 years. Gary may not care about the rights of gays, but he cares about his son Taylor. Sure, sometimes no matter what you say, no matter what you do, some people will feel alienated and not be with you. You'll come to an impasse. And this is not me telling you to give up your principles, but it is my belief that most people want to feel heard, validated, and belong. And if we can bring about those feelings for a wide variety of people in any movement, I think we'll find success. I firmly believe that when discourse dies, so does democracy. Because at the end of the day, killing is easy, fighting is hard. Have hope, friends. Listen on, talk on, fight on. Thanks.